Arizona in this same spot. They went out to Tucson in the first round of the NIT. Casper was in the rotation as a freshman. He knows this field. The run continues. Haas now with 7.
It's been a while, Doug, since Temple's been able to pound the basketball back inside.
No need when you can knock down the shot. Onechionya with his first points. Well, Temple is getting its points in threes. They've got 3 old school three-point plays. And then from beyond the arc, and they've drawn back within 2 off the turnover. The Owls will have it when we come back. Dave Paulson's Bison gone on a 17-7 run to retake the lead. Bucknell located in Lewisburg, PA, and it is Bison, not Bisons. And a small school, relatively speaking, to where we are here at Temple University, a massive school here on the north side of Philadelphia. Open look for 3. It's another triple for the Owls, the first for Josh Brown, who, by the way, was the first Owl out on the floor hoisting shots tonight to get ready for the ball game.
Now dribble penetration forces the D to collapse. Wide open look from the corner.
Under 10 of the shot clock. Casper. Ball knocked away. Shot beats the buzzer, but it rims out on Corey Starkey.
Now, second time that we've seen the shot clock be a factor for Bucknell.
Strong move along the baseline for 2 more from Josh Brown.
Now, Josh Brown's their leading scorer on the season off the bench for the Temple Owls. They were a little sluggish offensively. He's given them a lift with 5 straight.
And as you see, 8-0 run now for Temple as the teams go back and forth. Nana Fowland has 6.
Well, since Bond went down and hasn't come back in, 2 things have happened for the Owls. It's been easier for Bucknell to score it into paint, and we also haven't seen Temple try to pound the basketball inside and take advantage of his size.
There's that size and length and quickness advantage you were talking about for Quentin DeCozy getting to the rim again. He'll head back to the free throw line.
Well, DeCozy, the junior, had a terrific sophomore season last year when he averaged over 15 a game, top 10 in the American. He's followed it up with another solid junior season.
15 foul against Bucknell and the first against Casper. DeCozy had a solid American Conference tournament, scoring 14 points in both of Temple's games that were played at the XL Center in Hartford. And as you said, last year as a sophomore, he went for as many as 28 in one game against Central Florida. He has big play, big game potential. Junior out of Union, New Jersey, makes it 28-25 Temple.
Played his high school basketball at St. Joe's Metuchen, along with Carl Anthony Towns, guy you might be seeing a lot of over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's not bad. Have you got Kentucky in your NCAA bracket winning it all?
No question. It's hard not to pick the Wildcats.
It's not that hard.
Well, I know you did, because you just wanted to be different.
I want to be different. I don't want to be part of the 50% of the country picking Kentucky.
Oh, I bet you it's going to be more than 50.
On the ESPN website, that's just about where the numbers were as of last night. Big block shot coming over to deny. Onechionya.
I don't know what those other 50% have been watching. Terrific defensive rotation and challenge on the rim.
Well, Rob, you know as well as I do, people fill out those brackets as much with their hearts as with their heads. So if you're a Kansas fan or alum, you're putting the Jayhawks all the way. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you're picking the Irish all the way. There's Haas putting Bucknell back on top, 30-28.
And again, that's what separates him from a lot of different guys at this level. His athleticism on his jump shot. He was able to pull that right over top of Josh Brown, a terrific defender who's hanging all over him.
That was our 4th lead change. Bucknell with the basketball. Up 2. freshman Stephen Brown back into the ball game at the point. Under 5 minutes remaining in the half. Fowler. Coleman absorbs the bump, and he'll go to the line. The foul against Shao.
Foul number 12, J.C. Shao. That's his first team foul, number 6.
First foul on Shao, number 6 against the Bison.
Devin Coleman, shooting 2.
Here's another one of the transfer students who have positively impacted this Temple roster. Josh Brown. Or rather, Devin Coleman, excuse me, transferring in from Clemson. He also became eligible partway through the year and has been a valuable tool off the bench for Temple. One out of 2 from the junior right here in Philly, out of Friends Central High School. Catch and shoot for Shao. That's a nice looking stroke. Bison back up 4.
He's been bothered all season with a sore foot. He's got plantar fasciitis. The only way to take care of that is to rest, but he's such a gym rat. They're playing down the season, so he hasn't been able to shut it down. His numbers have been up and down, but he's playing with a lot of energy and confidence.
Yeah, he's got 8 early points off the bench, Rob. Bucknell on the offensive end has made 13 field goals so far. 10 of those have assists.
Well, they run great motion offense, share the basketball. Great timing there by DeCosa.
Yeah, he read that beautifully. Brown for 2, around and out. Rebound snared by Zach Thomas. Brown pulls the trigger. Way off the mark. Perhaps that's why he was so open.
Sometimes that works with that. Doesn't take a lot of threes. Just 8 of 17, but that's a heck of a percentage on the season.
DeCosa no, and a foul on the rebound. So they are certainly set up for another run to the Final Four and potential championship.
And you certainly know their fans are going to pack the Times Union Center and make that a home court up there.
Here's Devontae Watson at the free throw line, shooting a 1-and-1. Only 7 for 15 on the year. He rattles home the first. As a look at Dave Paulson, a 1987 graduate of Williams College. He matriculated and then wound up being the head coach at his alma mater, which is situated in Western Massachusetts. It's a Division III powerhouse year in and year out.
He had a great run, won a national championship, followed it up with the next season with a runner-up finish, and has had great success here at Bucknell.
His team up by 3, and his Bison will keep possession, much to the chagrin of the faithful here in Philly. Mark Williams has come into the game, a 6'8" sophomore from Cleveland for Temple. Also back is Jalen Bond. Good defense by Brown, who was told by Dunphy at shoot-around today, you are our perimeter defensive stopper, and he's doing it right now to Shao.
They did it earlier in the possession with a wing denial to keep it out of Shao's hands, and then doing a terrific job not allowing him to get a shot off the high ball screen. Well, he played his high school basketball for Bob Hurley, who might be the best defensive man-to-man coach in the country at any level. He would certainly be proud of how Josh was able to cover on the other end.
And Will Cummings back into the game now with 10 points He's the 5th leading scorer in the American Conference this year at over 14 per game. Wide open look for Zach Thomas. Well short. Fowlin tracks it down. But then he throws it into the backcourt. Over and back violation. Temple gets it back, down by 1. And Coach Paulson back to his bench, getting Starkey, his senior co-captain, back into the lineup. Morgan gives back to Cummings for 3. Got it.
As we said, his shooting numbers have been down all season, just 19% from beyond the three-point line after shooting it at 31% last year. But Temple all season long, not a great shooting team, but they make timely threes. That was a good example.
Nana Fowlin again struggling along the baseline. Bucknell will keep it though.
Cummings good 2 feet from beyond the three-point line. Good rotation.
The officials were not reviewing that. We were.
Yeah, because again, under 2 minutes in the ball game, they can go to the monitor in the last minute to make sure to see who it went out on. But that does not include the first half.
Ball's loose. Here come the Owls. Morgan goes right to the rim but can't get the roll. Good hustle back by Starkey.
Good defense by Josh Brown again on Haas to keep it out of his hands.
Morgan got a piece of the shot, and then the foul on the floor as Fowlin and Bond got tied up. And it goes against Jalen Bond.
A couple missed opportunities for Temple there, Doug. Morgan with the miss in transition with the layup that would have gotten him up by 4. Rebound the basketball there. Maybe he got an opportunity to get into the locker room with some momentum. But on the foul, shot clock reset. Expect Bucknell to hold for the last shot.
Yeah, just the 15th foul against Temple, number 2 against Bond. Final 30 seconds. Casper guarded by Cummings. 20 seconds. Down to 5 seconds. Terrific back cut. Haas couldn't finish, but Fowlin could. A terrifically entertaining first half. South Philadelphia. You ever been?
Oh, yeah. I like my cheesesteaks. And certainly Gino's, one of the iconic cheesesteak establishments in the city of Philadelphia. As always talk about Patsy's or Gino's, which do you like? Certainly there's a ton of other great cheesesteak places throughout the city.
Which one do you like?
I'm a Gino's guy.
Gino's guy, okay. Bucknell with the basketball to begin the second half. Here's Haas, the lead scorer for the Bison, who've had tremendous balance. Frazier, the step back from the baseline. Fowlin couldn't corral it. Temple, the number 1 seed in this bracket. Bucknell, the 8th seed, playing for the right to meet George Washington in the second round.
Both Bond and Cummings saddled with foul trouble. Neither played a ton of minutes in that first half. Let's see if they can keep those 2 guys on the floor for some more extended time here in the second half.
30-second shot clock being used in the NIT this year. Down to 4 as the Cummings jumper rattles out. Brown and Frazier start in the backcourt with Haas, Thomas, and Fowlin up front. Thomas working on Bond. And a foul on the shot. There once again the experimental rules being employed in the 2015 NIT. And you see the 4-foot restricted arc instead of the 3-foot that's been used for the last several years in college basketball. And then the 30-second shot instead of 35. And through 21 minutes and 14 seconds tonight, Rob, have you noticed anything?
Well, we've seen the shot clock come into play a couple of different times, especially Bucknell's had to fire late. We saw in the last possession. First time Temple's gotten it way down into single digits. But I think for sure you're going to see the 30-second shot clock. Whether it's next year, year after, it's coming at some point in time.
You don't think they'll go as far as 24?
I don't think so, and I don't think they should. 30 seconds works. I think 24 is not enough time. Monday I was up at a game in the CIT, up at NJIT against New Hampshire, and the shot clock was never a factor when teams were playing man. When they went zone, it became a factor, especially when teams tried to stretch the defense with a little false three-quarter court zone and then fall back to zone. By the time you set up and got into it, now all of a sudden you had 12, 15 seconds to find a good shot. Much more of a factor if teams are going to play zone.
Haas rise and fire off the front rim. Foul goes against foul. And by the way, Bond had picked up his third a moment ago against Temple, and he continues to play on. They see the Bison hanging tough. 14 of 33 from the floor. You know, Rob, people forget that when the shot clock was first put into college basketball back in the mid-'80s, it was a 45-second clock that went down to 35. So people think, well, you don't want to mess with tradition. Well, we've already changed it once. And, you know, they went with 45 back in the day of Dean Smith, where he would take the air out of the ball, go with the four corners, and you had a 32-30 final score because no action would happen for the last 6 minutes of the ball game.
And it certainly wasn't good for the game as far as from the fans' perspective. And as of late, fans have been clamoring for more offense. Got it last night in the first four games. BYU and Ole Miss, those two teams went at it. Games in the 90s you don't see anymore in college basketball.
Yeah, that was certainly a treat. Nana Fowlin into double figures. The freshman puts Bucknell back on top, only for a moment. The big answer by Cummings.
That's amazing. He had just 17 made threes on the season. But Fran Dunphy and his staff saying almost each of those was a timely, important three.
Playing through Fowland on the block. Finds the cutter on the give and go, but Brown had the shot blocked. Another block by Watson. And here come the Owls. DeCozy lost it, but Frazier was on the baseline, so Temple will have possession. Shot clock for the moment stays at 25.
Well, here's good rotation and defense there by Bond. Remember, he's playing with 3 fouls. Comes up with that first block. Looked like Temple was going to be able to get out and attack in transition. Temple has not been able to score out on the break. Just 2 points on the entire game.
Contested three. Nice closeout by Haas.